so right now we are watching best and worst models. I am curious to see if the models are cool. So we're really excited for this. By the way, this video is 4 months old, so this is fairly recent, unless they've come out with new models in like the last 4 months. You know, I don't know about that. But this guy is gonna tell us what is the best and worst models of each faction. And I'm quite excited because I am very interested in the models. I think they look cool. I've seen them around. I think they look cool, but what is the best? What is the worst? Who knows? It's gotta be a down payment at least. They announced a lot of stuff around Christmas. Ooh. Well, we must have missed some stuff then. Shit. Okay, are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
As you should know, best model across the entire 40k range is the Centurion. This is an objective fact that has been heavily studied by many of the top minds in multiple fields such as miniature modeling, military strategy, fashion design, and storytelling. They also happen to be mathematically the best unit in the game, which I've painstakingly calculated. But to explain my proof would be a very long and complicated process requiring extensive knowledge of extremely high-tech and intricate analysis algorithms, data processing theory, and artificial intelligence large language model applications that I just don't have time to explain to you without going on a 4-year course, let alone in a YouTube video, so you're just gonna have to trust me on it. Centurions
I believe
the best. But this highly sophisticated advanced research also revealed a shocking and disturbing truth. Centurions are only available if you play as Space Marines. This revelation was baffling to me. I was so confused. That means there are people who will willingly play a different faction that doesn't have access to the absolute peak performing model and unit in the history of tabletop wargaming. But I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised, because there are some people out there who are apparently of sound mind and will by their own free will choose to play Imperial Guard.
Is he memeing? Is he memeing? Is he memeing? This sounds funny.
As the #1 Centurion ambassador, I have the responsibility to make sure that there is at least something of value for each faction to use that will give you at least a fraction of the Centurions. So today I will be going through every single faction and giving you the best and worst models from them, so you can make sure that you are making the best purchases for your army. And once you've bought your Centurions, you're going to need something to get them to the tabletop, something strong that can hold your model safely. Sponsor time! This video is currently sponsored by Tabletop Stronghold. Stronghold is a small business creating MDF cases and terrain run by a...
Is that really how people store that? That's cool.
Single magical wizard from the mythical faraway land of West Virginia. The Mag Case 2.0 was very easy to put together and works as both a carrying case and a display case. Safely on the steel tray with the power of... and show them off through the power of... a see-through door. The adjustable trays can be moved to accommodate all sizes of minis, and the MDF construction gives it an amazing durability that can even hold the weight of this wizard and his gigantic brain. Or so he claims. Don't try to fool.
Do I have stream elements? I think I do, but I'm not entirely sure. Use shoeboxes. But, okay, never mind. Now that I've actually seen, like, this guy, like, promoting the carrying kit, I kind of get it. You just throw it in a cardboard box. What if they break? What? Like the case? Yeah, the case looks smart. Like, that makes sense to me. But, like, have you guys seen those, like, okay, you know those, like, IKEA display cases, the gloss ones, right? Have you seen those, like, pictures of it on, like, Reddit or, like, or whatever, or Facebook or, like, Twitter, where some person's, like, entire display case is on the floor due to, like, I don't know, some kids or, like, an earthquake or stuff like that? Oh, that'd be, like, painful. Lore accurate, really? Oh. So if your minis break, it's lore accurate.
Me, wizard, I can see that you have the power of levitation and magnets on your side, and a wizard of your level definitely have access to spells that can be used to hover just above. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, there is currently a Halloween sale with up to 30% off all products, and there is free shipping to the USA,
It's not Halloween
Canada,
anymore,
UK,
guys.
Australia, and most of the EU. So go right now to .com or click the link to ship to get your hand.
Can I get an 07? There's no free shipping to my country. Fuck.
So one of their awesome cases or MDF terrain sets. And thank you Tabletop Stronghold for sponsoring. As you should be well aware, I have...
Okay, wait. Genuine question now. Okay, hear me out, okay? If you are traveling for a Warhammer tournament, right? Do you put your figure... Okay, do you put your little, like, figurines, your little models, right? Do you put them in your check-in, or do you carry them on the plane with you and put them up top? This is a video from like 4 months ago, so 2024, like maybe the start of like November, maybe the end of like October. Take them with you if you can. I have a travel case. I was just thinking about it, right? No, it says 4 months ago. If it's 4 months ago, it should be oh yeah, 25th October 2024, gay. Wait, that's 4 months ago? Oh, you're right. That's what I was thinking, like you put them in a space where deodorant would have gone. You know what? Driving makes sense. Driving makes sense. But if I were to like, if let's say I were to like be crazy enough to go like, oh yeah, I want to go to a Warhammer 40K tournament in America, I would probably have to put them in like, you know how you can like have a personal carry-on item and you put that in the seat under the seat in front of you? I probably have to do that. Any other time, I'd be too stressed out to put it like up there, because you know how people will attempt to like maneuver your stuff so that they can put their own stuff up there. I would not let anyone touch my shit, right?
Absolutely fantastic taste and cold hard facts to back up my choices. But I invite you to share your opinions in the comments and let me know what you would choose. Of course, if you disagree with my assessment, your opinion is wrong, and I'll be sure to ridicule you for your insolence.
Oh my god.
Before we get underway, a couple of quick rules. This is based on a number of factors: the rules, the model itself, how closely it rates to perfection, or whatever other justification I might come up with. This will only be for non-character model units, because I think that makes this a bit more interesting.
Okay.
Have characters which are amazing centerpieces, and that would make some of the choices obvious, and also to be able to explore each faction's range in a bit more detail. And finally, no duplicates in instances where a faction shares a model, so if I pick one, I can't pick it again, and I will try to avoid them if I can. Now, we do start very, very strong with the Adepta Sororitas, because their best model, by far, is the Nundums. I can never remember the name of the actual unit. I think it's Paragon Warsuit. I could look it up. I should look it up.
He calls them Nundums?
Yes, it's Paragon Warsuit. But these are essentially sister Centurions. They are a tanky exoskeleton armor, toughness 7, 4 wounds, melter, really good in melee, good against monsters and vehicles. They're Centurions, but taller and skinnier, so not quite as good as Centurions. They also look awesome. I have loads of these that are in my pile of shame and not built. And they can go around with Morven Vala, who is a great centerpiece. There aren't actually that many bad models in the Adepta Sororitas range.
Can we call them Nundums from now on? Like Nun Gundams? Holy shit, that is so funny. Also, yeah, put my Primarch in like a baby carrier so I can, oh my god, I can pretend like this is my child. They call them Nundums already. That's so fucking funny.
So this was quite a tricky one to choose for my quote-unquote worst. So I'm gonna have to go for the Sister Novitiates, just because I think I prefer the standard Battle Sister armor rather than the armor that the Novitiates wear. And it's not that they're bad. I do kind of like them. I just prefer the armor.
He doesn't like them.
Objective facts. There is absolutely no bias in my decision, and that's why it just happens that the best Adeptus Custodes model is the Alarus Custodians. The good, big, chunky models that are also toughness 7 and 4 wounds, which mimics the golden stat line that all models should aspire to. They have awesome, really cool looking weapons. I love these like rifle blade things.
Oh, that is sick. Whatever that is.
Adeptus Custodes is they have a lot of Forge World stuff, and a lot of it looks. Yeah, the grav tanks do look a bit weird, but no, not my least favorite. My least favorite, because I've never seen it before and it looks kind of odd, is the Orion Assault Dropship. Not only do I think it just looks a bit weird and flat, but it also has a rule that I really want on my Stormbraver. Why can't I have that rule? Being able to advance and charge after disembarking from a dropship, that'd be perfect for the Screaming Ravens. I might steal that for the Screaming Raven detachment. Now, Admech also have a decent range, but
okay, I just gotta say, I'll just go back because I just want to point something out. I think that the weathering on it to make it look like all old and shit looks really cool. I think that looks fucking fire. I like that it's not like gold, instead it looks kind of like tarnished gold, and that like adds like so much like depth to the model. It's so sick. I feel like if I were to do this, I'd be a casual collector, I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of this stuff looks very complicated to paint, and it was very tricky to actually find the thing I preferred the best and preferred the worst. The best models, I think, are the Cerberus models. The dudes riding these dog horse robot things. Not only do I think the robot mounts are really, really cool, I love the weaponry of the Admech, especially like the 6-shooter and these kind of old style looking rifles. I just think they look really.
I want these dog guys so bad. I think they're so cool. They're so goofy looking. I love these guys. They look so good.
The Admech, especially like the 6-shooter and these kind of old style looking rifles. I just think they look really, really fun. Now
You're right, these are cowboy guns. They're cowboy guns.
Worst model is a very tricky one again. There's some of the vehicles I'm not a huge fan of, like the Dune Rider and some of the planes, but I think the worst model for me, the worst models I think are the Electro Priests. And again, not because they're that bad. I do think they're kind of cool.
No, stop. Okay, I kind of agree, just because I think they look, there's a part of me that thinks like, okay, I guess you're not that bad, but also I don't like their look.
But I just prefer the standard Admech look. And I think the Cesari and Rust Stalkers are just a cooler looking model, and I'd rather play
these
with
look these look like the one Star Wars guy. What's his name? General Grievous or something.
Even if the Electric Priests are better, I actually have no idea which are better. Now for Aeldari, I'm very daring today. A T7 unit, 3 wounds, so it's not great. The Wraith Blades and the Wraith Guard. I absolutely love the look of these. I just love their armor style and those helmets. I just think they're so cool. Unfortunately, the worst model, despite the fact they have a lot of older models that need replacing, I won't go too deep into them because they'll get replaced eventually and they have a cool base. I think the worst model is the Wraith Lord. I think it's really cool, but the pose is so static. It just looks kind of boring. But there are some people who have made really, really cool conversions and matches to make this look fantastic. I just don't want to have to put the effort in. I think the Wraith Lord could do with an update. Now, time to be extremely unpopular.
I'm sorry. This is gonna, I actually really don't like I don't like the look of these. I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, he showed the older models. These look cool. These look great. This one just kind of looks like, I don't know. Someone hit it with like the IKEA minimalism. Like the whole IKEA minimalism concept, and they went for what is like, you know, what just takes away everything. I don't know if I like it that much.
So static. It just makes this look fantastic. Time to be extremely unpopular. In a vast sea of just bland-looking army men and boring, standard-looking tanks that you could find anywhere.
No, stop. I like them.
It really is difficult to find a model that's actually interesting. Although, I have to say, hypocritically, I do love the Basilisk. But Paul, you just said you hate the fact that they're just kind of standard army people, and this is just an artillery cannon. Like, why is this your favorite?
But tanks are cool. What? Why do people hate tanks? I love tanks.
That's a brave thing to say to me when you're in Basilisk range. I just like the big gun. It's the biggest gun, and therefore it is the best. Even if playing against it's a nightmare because it makes my Centurions move at 2 inches per turn. I remember as a kid, like, seeing...
Stop, this is cool. People don't like it? That's crazy. That's insane. It's so cool. Okay, I just feel like this could not be a male fantasy game without like the soldier fantasy aspect of it. They're low boxing, I guess, but also like these are like the Imperial Guard are basically like the dudes, right? They're just guys, they're not Space Marines, right? I wouldn't expect anything like super fantastic from them other than like, you know, the standard like G.I. Joe looking, you know. Yeah, it's very World War I, World War II. I like them a lot. I think like in terms of like in terms of like the most like average like guys, like the boomer dads, it makes sense that they're tanks. I like them. I think they're so cool. Oh my god. Do I have the tank autism? You know? I'm just a boomer dad, guys. What the fuck?
This being used in an Iron Warrior's army, because I think you used to be able to take this kind of stuff as Iron Warrior, and I really, really wanted to make an Iron Warrior Basilisk. So I guess what I'm saying is I like the Basilisk because I've seen it outside of Imperial Guard. The worst model is the Rogal Dawn. And I mean this with complete disrespect. Fuck the Rogal Dawn. Now,
why?
Something a whole lot more interesting is Chaos Demons. There's a lot to like in Chaos Demons. I would have loved to say that my favorite is Sloppity Bile Piper, because it's a great model.
No, stop. Is this real? Wait, is this an actual model in like Warhammer? That's crazy. The art difference looks so goofy. He looks like he'd be like a villain in Crash Bandicoot or something. He's just a silly little guy. I guess he is a silly little guy, except that, you know, his bagpipe's basically a human heart. But wait, the Rogal Dawn is missing his bottom. Wait, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Hold up. I kind of get it because like there's just something that's kind of basic looking about it. I don't know. It's kind of cool, but also why are there so many guns? I don't know. I do get why he doesn't like it as much, but also, you know, I can't quite put my finger on it. It's okay. We'll just go back to looking at this goofy little guy.
Well, it's got great rules, and the name is fantastic. Sloppity Bile Piper is such a fun name to say. But
that's really his name, Sloppity?
But I think my favorite are the Demonettes, because I think they just work really well. I know people do prefer the old ones, but I just really like how they look, because far away, you can kind of see that alluring, like, Demonette thing, but as you get close, they have such horrific features. It's a whole lot more subtle and a whole lot more interesting than
that makes sense.
Now, before you...
Rogal Dawn is the Imperial Fist one. This is so sad. Send help, guys. My boys have been attacked.
The pitchforks out, I will say that the worst model in the Demons range are the Horrors. And again, this isn't because they're awful. I do actually quite like the Horrors, the blue or the pink or the whatever the other color is, Brimstone. I don't know, I'm not a horror. But my god, the old...
No, you know what this looks like? You know what this looks You know what this looks like it be? It looks like it would be in any late 80s to early 90s JRPGs. These would be like one of the jobber monsters. These look like they'd be jobber monsters in like any like early 90s JRPGs. I guess they kind of fit into like the Warhammer universe. I just wouldn't think that they'd be like strong or anything. I'd just be like, oh yeah, this is like 10 EXP easy. Are they actually jobber monsters? Oh, they're old models. Dragon Quest looking ass. Exactly. Yo, they do look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Ones are just so peak, and I don't know why they changed away from that design. The old ones are so amazing. Just look at these guys. They're so like crawling out of each other's mouths and stuff. They're just an amazing design for a demon. Such good body horror. And then they replaced them with some things that are okay, but do not hold a candle to the Chaos Knights. I realized most of the range are characters, so I will have to make an exception here for characters. I think my favorite is the Abominant. I just really like the helmet. I love the
Oh my god, having to paint the birds would be insane. How small are these birds?
Birds, because I like birds. I like its style. My least favorite, I don't know,
No, they also have the crotch flag! Birds and crotch flag, oh my god.
My least favorite, I don't know, the War Dog with all the melters on it, because it hurts and I don't like playing against them. Chaos Space Marines have a really good range of things. I would have loved to say the Lord Discordant was my favorite, but it is a character, but it just looks so amazing.
That is cool.
And it just looks cool. I think my favorites are either the Obliterators or the Warp Talons. I'd say out of the two, I think Warp Talons.
These are cool.
Especially seeing some of the amazing...
Are those like little jetpacks? I kind of love that for them. They're like, it's like Vega, but with jetpacks.
Like Lord Warp Talons that people have made, like these ones that I mentioned before on the channel. But Obliterators are really, really fun as well. And they look like a really fun...
Is that his head in like something's mouth? What is that? No, wait, I don't like this one, guys. I don't like this one for one major reason. His dogs are out. The fact that his dogs are out makes me uncomfortable and I don't like it. No, this is so weird. It's a hit of a Marine within a demon. No, someone get him some shoes. That is crazy. He morphs weapons out of it. Paint the toes. I feel like the least you could do is give him like, if his dogs are gonna be out, then the least you could do is give him like a toenail, like toenail paint, you know? Girl, your dogs are out in the intermission scheme. Okay. But to be fair though, I didn't show you guys like the toes, right? You know, just the foot, not the toes. His dogs are out, man. Oh.
Conversion to do, because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with their mutation-y things. I generally try to avoid old models for being the worst because they are old and it's kind of obvious, but for this one, I feel like there isn't really another choice. The Chaos Bikers are just outdated at this point. There's not really much else to say here. I just think they are... They look old, they look out of place, and I think they just need an update. Now, Death Guard, I've always said, is one of the armies which is the most cohesive. I think Games Workshop have done a fantastic job at bringing the Death Guard to life. And Ingmar, the Maggotkin of Nurgle, are also very similarly excellently cohesive and excellently designed across the range. I love all of their Terminators. I was very close to choosing the Death Shroud, but I do think that the Blight Hauler is my favorite, just because of his goofy face. I really
that's
like
so
this
cute.
It's also a
Wait, okay, this is gonna be wild, but he kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, there's something about the face that looks kind of M&M-y. Like, you know how like they put like faces on M&Ms? I kind of love this one for that.
Hauler is my favorite, just because of his goofy face.
He's just
like
a guy.
It's got a chunky, tanky thing with melters, so of course I'm going to really like it. But I just really like that one eye and the chompy face. I just think they look really fun. And the worst model for me is kind of whatever. It's just the Poxwalkers. They look fine. They're not my tempo. It's not the kind of thing if I were to play.
Wait, I want to look at it. Oh, yeah, no. Compared to the other ones that he showed, this one just looks like Skinny Tank from Left 4 Dead 2. I don't know if I like it as much. Yeah, I do see what he means. This one is not the vibe. Yeah, the Forbidden Green, and I'm right. Yeah, this one's not really my vibe. Okay, I get it. I get what he's cooking.
They look fine. They're not my tempo. It's not the kind of thing if I were to collect that I really want to be investing in. And I know they're kind of the standard chaff, but I'd rather just have big chunky Death Guard smellies. Now with Drukhari, I collect these ones and I have a lot of favorites. Very close to being the Hellions, because I think the Hellions are just awesome models, even though they're not that good, but it kind of has to be the Incubi. They just look amazing, and they were the model that got me back into Warhammer and Night. Seeing these guys
that
made
one's sick.
me realize how well updated a lot of the range are. So I've always thought of Dark Eldar or Drukhari as being kind of lame and a bit silly looking.
No, wait.
So I've always thought of
Stop. I hate this face thing. You know what it looks like? It looks like that one thing from Doctor Who that's like moisturize me or whatever it's called. But you know what I'm talking about? I kind of hate how it's like stretched out. It's just a stretched out face. I do not like this.
Dark Eldar or Drukhari as being kind of lame and a bit silly looking, but seeing how they updated and made the
this one is cool.
This good really got me back into the game, and I just love their weapons, their style, their armor, the fact that they just rip everything to shreds. Just those helmets in various places for Archons and Succubi, it's so good. I love the Incubi. And the worst, there's actually quite a large choice for the worst, seeing as half the range doesn't bloody exist. Okay. But I do think the worst is grotesque, so I just think they look kind of bad. Genestealer Cults as well.
No, I don't like
really good range. I want to choose the Kellamorph. I love a rooty tooty point and shooty multi-arm dude.
It's a cowboy. Oh, I kind of love that. That was a face that's not his. Oh, you know, I don't know if that makes it any better. The fact that like my guy's fit just has a random stretched out face that doesn't even belong to him. I don't know if that makes anything better, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of love that guy though. Him and his little like cowboy fit. I'm obsessed. I'm fucking obsessed, dude. That's so cool.
To choose the Kellamorph. I love a rooty tooty point and shooty multi-armed. So cool, and just look at him. Not just dual wielding, triple
wielding. Hell yeah.
Let me try that again. Not just dual wielding, triple wielding. That I still can't say it. Anyway, he holds many guns. Birdie is a character, so I'm gonna either say the Aberrants, because I love the guy with the sign, or the Jackals, because I really like that dirt bike, that really rustic dirt bike look. I think the Jackals just tip it to the post. The worst models, I think, are actually the hybrid Metamorphs or the Acolyte hybrids. I think they're the same box.
Oh, I love that like Ripper gun thing.
I had a look through the range and saw on the Combat Patrol that they might have very few options, because on the Combat Patrol, both sets of 5 look exactly the same. Games Workshop did try and pull a sneaky by moving some around and rotating them slightly, but they are exactly the same model.
Yeah, what the heck?
They might have it just done 5 and just Photoshop them in. And looking at the sprue, there looks like there's a lot of options, but obviously this makes 2 different...
It is like a Gundam kit then. It is just... Is this just... Okay, is Warhammer just... Is it just Western Gunpla? I never seen this before. Like, you know, we've been watching Warhammer videos, but I never actually seen how people built them. Is this just Western Gunpla? The reverse weave gunpla. Oh my god. Okay, this makes so much more sense now. You know, that checks out. Warhammer's English? Oh, so this is like English gunpla then. It's poorly organized gunpla with significantly less moving parts. Okay. Yeah, I'd never seen this before, like the Plossing model kit, like vibe of it. Cause initially I thought they all came like, you know, fully built. Like, I thought they came, like, fully, like, you know, in the model itself and you just have to, like, paint it. But you actually have to build it. Okay, that makes sense. You know, that makes a ton of sense. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! But instead of cards, it's, like, Gunpla that you gotta paint. The British Gunpla. Okay, I kind of fuck with this now. I get it now. Now I understand.
Different kits. So it feels like you have very limited options. I'm sure you could do some head swaps here and there, but the actual weapons and poses seem very static. And when you've got a lot of these on the table, that really won't look that good unless you put a lot of effort in trying to make them look distinct. Now, the Grey Knights. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved the Grey Knights. They need an update, sure, but even now, the Terminators.
I want the baby carrier one. I want the baby carrier one. Everything else, you're cool, but I want the baby carrier one. It's so goofy looking. Oh, I love that.
Look awesome. I love their armor. I love their weapon. They just look incredible.
Yeah,
They're
this looks sick.
Slightly outdated now because of how the Primaris size stuff is starting to come in, and that has started to take away some of their aura. They just look a little bit small and a bit weird compared to some of the better things that have come out. And the worst, I really don't want to say it,
okay,
because I do like the model, but I think people agree with me. The worst is the Dread Knight. And
no, not our boy. Guys, they're slandering our baby carrier. Oh, this is so sad. Wait, what if I built this and then put it in a baby carrier? On me. Baby carrierception. He's so funny though. I like him. I like him so much. Oh my god. He's so goofy. No, I can't believe they hate our boy.
That pains me, because I do like the Dread Knight, but it is a little bit goofy and kind of needs a bit of an update. And I love that goofiness, but the problem is there's nothing else in the range that is worse than it.
It is Titanfall! Oh my god! It is Titanfall, but there's just an angry, like, child in the center.
My other option was to cop out and just say a Razorback or a Rhino or something, but I really felt like I don't want to do that, and I think the Dread Knight could just be tweaked a little bit. Imperial Knights, the same problem as Chaos Knights, where most of the range characters, but my favorite is actually the Thrastus Lancer, because I just love the idea of having a dude with a big lance charging at you in a giant robot.
Ooh.
And in fact, if I were to pick a knight for the Screaming Ravens, it would be a Lancer. I've actually been looking at Gunpla to see if I can make a Lancer Gunpla hybrid thing for Screaming Ravens, because I think that'd be really cool for Gunplas that I could use. Let me know in the comments. The worst armigers, they're basic, I don't know, Mulan. Leagues of Votann have a very, very small range, so there aren't exactly that.
Stop, wait.
Basic, I don't know, Mulan. Leagues of Votann.
Not the fucking list. Wait, who is this? This is Chris Jericho's list, right? This is the, wait, what? The Chris Jericho means crazy.
Very, very range, so there aren't exactly that many choices, and I kind of like all of the range.
Okay.
But my favorite, I think, is either the Pioneers or the Thunderkin. I do think my favorite is the Pioneers. I just really like this kind of hover trike design. I just think it's really interesting and really cool.
Oh.
My least favorite, though, is the Honky Tonk Land Fortress. I just think the wheels look a bit too small, and with hover technology, you could do something more interesting with this. The Sagittars look better because their wheels and kind of the shape of the vehicle looks more well designed. I feel like the Land Fortress just looks a little bit too chunky for the wheelbase itself.
Yeah,
Necrons
I can see that.
That have a fantastic range, but again, a lot of their good models are characters. A lot
Bionicle.
And unfortunately, my favorite model, the Hexmark Destroyer, a multi-armed Rooty Tooty point and shooty. And if you thought a triple wielding was good, how about a hexa wielding? Outside of that, I think my favorite are the Ophidian Destroyers. Scorpet Destroyers are a close second.
Oh yeah, this is the Bionicle one, right? Wait, stop, hold up.
The Ophidian Destroyers. Scorpet Destroyers.
Guys, this is straight up one of the Bionicle models. On God, I think I've seen a Bionicle model in this exact same pose, right?
Are a close second. I love the look of the Scorpet Destroyers, but I really, really like these kind of snake burrowing Ophidian
Glocktopus, is that what he's called?
But I think they're an awesome model. The worst model is unfortunately the Locust Destroyer.
Oh yeah, what the hell is that?
But the Heavy Destroyer, since the update, just looks so much nicer and makes these guys look even more.
I don't like this. I think it looks really goofy. I think it looks really fucking goofy. I actually think this looks fucking goofy. I don't know, maybe I'm being a hater. Maybe I am being a hater. But there's just something about it that just looks unfinished, you know? They're old. Oh, okay.
They just need an update to bring them in line somewhat with the Heavy Destroyer, and then they'd be awesome again. Alright, it's crumpet time with the Orks. I won't do this voice the whole time because it'll be annoying, but just letting me know the Orks are the best and their entire model range is the best. But the actual best model across this very, very good range is the Boomdaka Snazwagon, which gains maximum points for the—
Is this like Mad Max? With like the guy chained in the front? Is it just Mad Max, but like orcs?
Name. It's such a good name. Boomdaka Snazwagon is one of the most fun things to say, and it just looks great. It's such a good model, lot of personality. I mean, there's a lot of personality in all of the Orc models, but this one just has so much going for it. Now, similar to something like Aeldari, there are a lot of older models in the range, and so there's quite a lot of things that look outdated, look a bit silly compared to some of the new stuff. And the worst model is surprisingly actually one of my favorite models. It's the Mega Knobs. Now, why are the Mega Knobs the worst?
Why do they suck?
They do look awesome. They've got great rules. They are just very fun.
Why is the faction name just WAH? What is that faction name?
The issue is Age of Sigmar exists. If I was to make an Orc army, I would 100% be using Iron Jaws instead of Mega Knobs. They just look better, and you can easily fit them into a 40k
that
Orc
looks
army
sick.
because you can just start bolting stuff to it, just like regular.
Because WAH is War in Orc? That's so cute!
Orcs, where you can just take your entire bit box and a pot of glue and just yeet it at your entire army and probably make a good looking Orc army. Very simple. The Centurion. What's not to love about the Centurion?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, no cap though. Okay, whatever this baby thing is, I hate it. But everything else about it, if you say like Warhammer, honestly, the blue guys are what I think about the most. Like, if you say Warhammer, the first thing that comes to mind is the blue guys. You know, not anything else. Just like, I like that you all started yelling, "What?" It's so funny. Wow. That's so cute. But yeah, I don't like the baby. Everything else though, this is like so poster boy iconic of them. That's a cherub. Why? But like, why though? Why Like, look at my guy. He did not skip, like, arm day. He does not work out. He does not do anything else but, like, lift, bro.
The worst model for me was quite difficult. There's quite, again, few outdated things here and there. I don't really like stuff like the Rhino, but again, so many things have rhinos. But I do think my least favorite is the Scouts, because I just don't like them, basically. They just don't feel Space Marine to me. When I think Space Marine and I see a Scout, I just don't think they belong.
They're just like alt
Scouts.
color,
I know
right?
Apparently you're pretty good in the current metagame, but nah, get some real armor. Become a Centurion. Tau have the right idea. This is an army that has a lot of chunky robot shooty guys. And I think the best of the bunch, for me, is the Broadside, because it's the chunkiest boy with a big fat railgun. But there are a lot
I love railguns.
Like Riptides as well are really cool. The Ghost Keel's really cool. The standard battle suits are really cool. Just a lot of really fun stuff here. My least favorite, unfortunately, is the stealth suits because of the way the mask looks. It just looks a bit weird. They look a bit dumpy with that face mask. It just looks a bit off, and I don't really like how it works with the rest of the army. It doesn't look stealthy. Oh boy, Thousand Suns. But let's get the obvious out of the way. I can't pick Magnus, despite the fact it is an incredible model, which I'll eventually paint. Without Magnus,
Sororitas, I love it.
Basically, the whole range is fantastic. As much as I think the Brute Vortex piece is amazing, it is also kind of something brought over from Age of Sigmar, from a Tzeentch monster. So I do have to pick for Thousand Suns, the Rubric Marine. Always liked them even as a kid.
I'm not gonna lie, these ones are really cool looking though. I do like them a lot, even if I don't necessarily like want to play them. I do think they're very cool, but also Hello Kitty colors for this one would also go fucking fire.
Love their design, and they just give the Thousand Suns their
cool
look, their entire vibe. This awesome looking model. They are a horrible pain in the ass to paint, but they do look fantastic. Now, the worst model in Thousand Suns is an absolute cop-out. It's the Rhino. I don't really like the Rhino in any of them, and it was so difficult not to pick the Rhino for any of these other ones.
I guess they're kind of
rated it for this one.
I guess they're kind of too boxy to like. I mean, I don't know. You know what's the thing? I think there is like some charm to it, but I don't know if I don't like it. You know what I mean? It is very like tank-like. I do get it. I do think it is kind of cool. Yeah, it's just a classic box tank, right? The spikes make it worse. The spikes on the top, yeah, they're a little extra, but I feel like a lot of Warhammer is very extra, don't you think? Magnus did all things wrong. Oh my god, why do we hate Magnus? Yeah, I do kind of feel like a lot about Warhammer is very extra, don't you think? So it's like, I don't know if I don't like the fact that it looks extra. It makes sense to me. But yeah, it doesn't fit the box. Yeah, I kind of get that also. Like, if you cut off the spikes on the top, it would still look fine. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think like the thing about like Warhammer so far, the things that disappoint me the most are the really like plain looking like models. The ones that like look super detailed, they make sense to me. It checks out, right? But the ones that look really plain are the ones where I'm kind of like, you know, you don't really give like the Warhammer vibes. My boomer dad tank autism is growing stronger. Fuck! I'm never beating the boomer dad allegations, huh? This is so sad. If it's chaos that has spikes to octane, you know, yeah, that makes sense. I do like it though. I like how like classic it looks. I like the weathering on it. I think it looks really cool. It looks fucking fire.
It's a cop out. Sue me. I don't care. The worst is the Rhino. It's just a Rhino. Who cares about rhinos? They're boring. This is another one of those armies with just a lot of very good models. And it's also a very cohesive looking army. But my favorite out of all of them is the Lictor. Not only is it a great model on the table in terms of rules, also just looks awesome. And I love how this thing is on its own and just can tear everything around it to shreds. I read it in one of the books that I read.
That is cool.
One of Euro Adventures ones, where a Lictor is just hanging around one of the cities, and it's an awesome monster boss thing to have. This awesome villainous monster that is there in the shadows. I absolutely love the vibe of the Lictor. The worst model was a surprise to me, because if you just look at the stats, you'd think this would be the best model. It's T7. It's 4 wounds. It has really good shooting with some anti-vehicle stuff, but the hull just look weird. They're too smooth. That's my problem with them. They just look too smooth. And they just look a bit off compared to all the
I kind of see it.
And finally, World Eaters. They fall into a very similar thing, kind of between something like 1,000 Suns and League of Votann. Very small range, but all of their range is very, very good and very, very cohesive and they really fit into that World Eater's corn stuff. The best is the Berserkers, very similar with Thousand Suns, the best with the rubrics. I love the way it looks, and I just love their helmet design, I love their poses, I love what they stand for. You can really make them look great by just chucking blood for the blood god on them. Really cool models. Like with Thousand Suns, we're ignoring the fact that Angron exists, because Angron is...
He's so cool, though.
Angron's a fantastic model. When GW do centerpieces, good lord, do they do centerpieces. But the worst model, even, again, this is one I do kind of like, but it's the 8-bound. They just aren't as cool as the other Terminator.
You know, now, I honestly, yeah. It might be unfair for him to put, like, older models on, but, like, the older models, like, the faces especially, look so goofy compared to, like, the newer ones. It makes sense, but I really do like this model, though. Like, the touch of, like, having the Space Marine, like, what is it, the helmet thing on the back, it looks really sick. But yeah, I do get, it's not that old. Oh, your boys. Oh god, Dagenheart's dying in the chat right now. These are brand new ones? Wait. Okay, then whoever did them did a disservice, because that face, though, that face looks kind of funny. No, stop. I thought it was old because of how the face was molded, but yo, I'm sorry. I can't. That face is funny. I love the detail, though. I really do think it's cool. It's very cool looking. If, like, you know, you put like a paper bag over his head. GW can't paint faces. So it's not that, like, it's not that the balls aren't cool. It's just that GW can't paint faces. 07's in the chat, guys. This is sad. This is so sad and fucked up.
Yes, they just look a little bit off. There's something not quite right about them. They're meant to be Terminators. I guess they're not like Red Butchers or anything. I really like their weapons, but again, there's just something just not as cool.
You know, with this face in particular, I think it's a little better. With this face, it also looks fine. But without the mask, I think it looks funny. What do you guys think?
As what something in more of a Terminator form factor would look like. There, that is the best and worst model from every single faction. What about Agent? What about Agents of Imperium? But you didn't care, neither do I. Hopefully this will be useful in helping you choose your next purchase, making sure you spend your money in the right place. But if you think that somehow, in some way, my fantastic and clearly correct opinion, I'm sure you could argue in the comments and look in the comments for some different opinions. But if you're still unsure about what you should be buying, what you should be playing, if you're a new player looking into getting into the game, my best advice to you is just go buy some Centurions. Just buy as many Centurions as you get your hands on. Nothing will go wrong. They are super future-proof. Nothing is going to ever happen.
Is that true?
And they will never go to Legends, because if they do go to Legends Games Workshop, I know where you live. I swear to God, if you so much as hint that Centurions are going to Legends, I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish. But thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, go and like, comment, subscribe. And a special thank you to all of the members who help support the future of this channel. I'm going to point at one.
Okay. Just because he said all that, we're gonna subscribe. We're gonna subscribe because now I'm scared.
You, especially you, you're fantastic. Thank you very much.
Okay, so guys, yeah, I gave him a sub out of like fear, guys. Nothing is future proof. That's what I was thinking. Honestly though, like I feel like games like these, it's gonna be really hard to future proof anything. Just cause like the meta has to be constantly like evolving for people to keep like a healthy like player interest in it, right?